Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
All right, guys. We are back. There are things to talk about. I wouldn't say plenty. It's a light week. So let's jump right into Checked Out. Somebody watch Sugar. I think that's Micah.
Private Detective John Sugar investigates the disappearance of Olivia Siegel, the beloved granddaughter of Hollywood producer Jonathan Siegel. As Sugar tries to determine what happened to Olivia, he unearths Siegel family secrets, old and new. This is an Apple TV show starring Colin Farrell, Amy Ryan, Sidney Chandler, James Cromwell, and that's the tagline. Look, this is a noir detective story. All the tropes of noir like stories, the grizzled detective taking on a case because the victim reminds him of a family member he had. He's got his own problems that might affect the case, but he's taking it because he monologues in his head. What other tropes are there? It's in LA. It's a noir detective story, and I am enjoying it. It's not like action heavy. He doesn't like violence. So when he does use violence, it's like, oh, but he doesn't like violence. And he's an impossibly nice guy, which is like the most unbelievable part of this show. But Colin Farrell is just a good actor, man. He's really good in everything. James Cromwell is a good actor. He's really good in everything. I don't know who Nate Cordry is. I'm sure I've seen him in something else. But this is a pretty good show if you have Apple TV and you are in the mood for a...
I like Nate Cordry. I've seen him in a number of things.
Yeah. He's good. He's good in this. He plays like a Weasley brother of the victim or supposed victim. So if you enjoy like a mystery... but it's I don't want to say slow burn, but it's not like, fast paced action. You know what I mean? Like this is a detective story, an old fashioned detective story. You'll probably dig this. Look, Apple TV, man. They got some pretty good stuff, and even the stuff that's like not stellar is still pretty good. They are doing the opposite of Netflix. They are doing quality over quantity.
Yeah.
And whereas Netflix puts out movies with main characters named Atlas Shepard for some strange reason.
I mean, look, maybe that's a good movie. It's not.
I'm sure it is. You know what? I'll watch it.
Yeah, look. You apparently will watch damn near anything that Netflix.
Hey, it's content. I don't pay for Netflix. So, anyway, I sell the seats. Anyway, right. Continue.
So, we are going to push up our review of episode 7 of X-Men. What's it called? Bright Eyes. To right now, because Terrence did what some of you were too scared to do. He sacrificed his time and his body on the altar of Netflix and Zack Snyder and watched Rebel Moon Scargiver. So we are going to have an in-depth conversation or listen to Terrence tell us how terrible that movie was. So let's talk about X-Men.
You're a bunch of cowards for not watching it. That's all I got to tell you. A bunch of cowards.
Should I wear a giant C on my shirt next week? I proudly wear it around.
Look, you can call me Micah A. Smith. I'm so much of a coward.
It's fine. You can refer to me as The Rock, another fucking giant coward. Okay, so let's talk about X-Men 97, episode 7. this is more of a direct response to what happened in episode 5 with sort of the attack on Genosha by the Wild Sentinels. I thought this was a good episode. It is clear that it is it's the calm before the storm. Like they're revving you up before these last 3 episodes go fucking balls to the wall, apparently. So yeah, I thought it was good. Not amazing, not a showstopper episode, but it was good. What'd you guys think?
I really, really enjoyed it. Rogue just kind of going rogue, and they open on Gambit's funeral, and the show is doing a lot, man. The show is doing a lot, and I don't know if people are appreciating it. No,
I think so. I'm surprised, but I think they are actually appreciating it. It's shocking.
Well, good, honestly. Because I am shocked because it opens on this incredibly sad moment, and Jubilee is kind of freaking out because Rogue isn't there, and Wolverine's got to hey, sometimes people process grief differently. It's talking about grief, it's talking about injustice, it's talking about this show. I can't believe how well done this cartoon featuring blue people who are who teleport, and blind people who punch you with their eyes, and 4-foot dog men and psychics. I'm just so amazed by it, right? The scene, or even Beast, when Beast is talking to the reporter, and the reporter's the reporter represents well-meaning liberal white people, mm-hmm. right? Who are just hey, well, maybe if you just complied, what the fuck, bitch? No, it is not our place, right? To have to forget who we are to appease you.
They literally quote Martin Luther King at one point. There's a number of moments. Beast is he says something and she replies and says oh yes, that was a Martin Luther King quote, and then he says something and or she says something and he says, oh, that was a quote by so and so. They're just in case you missed it. It's really, really in your face. So yeah, I appreciate it.
Rogue. Yeah, subtlety is not this show's strong suit. It's not subtle at the fuck all.
No, and we didn't talk about the previous episode because I hadn't seen it. But the previous episode with Professor X, sit down, I'm going to take you to school. I was and Michael was 100% right. There is no subtext. It's just text. That shit was wild. Amazing. Amazing work.
Rogue, processing her grief by doing what anybody would do, right? I got
exactly what I do.
Yeah, Liam Neeson got in trouble because somebody raped his friend and he wanted to punch the first black guy he saw because I don't know, but I feel I got to do something, right? I got to do something.
Which is not acceptable, but from a human perspective, you go, I get it. You know what I mean? It's
right.
Yeah, I get it. It's steeped in the heavy amount of racism, but yeah.
She finds Captain America, right? She finds the super cop, right? Because let's not forget, right? That Captain America isn't the radical Captain America that will do what is right no matter what. This is Captain America that's just super cop. He knows what the right thing to do is, but he won't do it because it's against the rules. Oh, well, we've got to do it the right way. We got to do it this way. And my hands are tied. Well, you won't be needing this, sugar. And then she just threw that shit.
She was a real asshole. Yo, you threw it 17 miles, my nigga. Yeah, I'm Captain America, but that's still a hike. I still got to run and get that. That was fucked up. She was fuck off.
Yo, I loved it. I loved it because this is how people used to write Captain America. You know what I mean? He would always be I know, but like we gotta get it right, which invokes that James Baldwin quote of like, how long do I have to wait? I waited my time, my brother's time, my sister's time, my mother's time. How the fuck long I got to wait for your fucking for you to realize what fucking do for progress? Yeah. And like man,
look, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is gonna sound obnoxious, but it's 100% true. There will be college dissertations written about this season. I guarantee you there will be, yo. They will. They will write out like using this as an sort of an allegory for racial, like digging into racial justice and stuff like that. Like historically, someone will write this. I guarantee you will find somebody's dissertation like X-Men 97 season 6, like as a way of looking at this, because it's a simple way, if you're even remotely paying attention, to get a very like I don't want to say a blanket look at it, but sort of a like racism 101, like historical racism 101 kind of understanding, like through.
I mean, you incept these concepts into the minds of people who, particularly young people who this stuff is targeted at, to try and mold them into decent human beings, right? Like Sunspot goes to his mom and essentially comes out, right?
Yeah, there's a whole LGBT section to the shit. Like he's like, and then she's like, hey, all right. We knew. Now we just got to make sure.
Now, but we got to hide it.
That shit,
like,
because
have you tried not being a mutant?
Right.
To quote the original movie. Yeah. It's like, we get it, but why don't you just pipe down a little bit? Yeah, it was fucked up. But at the same time, it was actually kind of a nice moment before she said that, where she's like, yeah, it was your story to tell, right? It was just your secret to keep. And I was like, oh, they're progressive. And she's like, now shut the fuck up about it. I was like, God damn. Grand opening, grand closing. Like, come on, moms. What are you doing? But it's true to life, unfortunately.
And then, you know, they go to Madripoor and you know, Rogue is kind of at the breaking point, and they find Trask. And she's just like, yo, go fuck yourself. Like, you don't get to fucking kill yourself. I'm going to do it. And then, you know, what are you doing, Rogue? And look, as much as I harp on Wolverine, he a real one, yo. Like,
no, he ain't give a fuck.
I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Yo, she beat me to it, goddammit.
Right. Oh, my maximum agility. I just could not get there fast enough. Look, Nightcrawler's like, no, you could have bamfed and helped him. You didn't. You didn't. You didn't do it. You didn't do it. You could have. You didn't do it. Don't do. Oh man! Like nah.
No, wait. Stop. Come back.
Right, you weren't that mad about it. How could you do it before we got over there? Like, come on, man. All these flying characters, nobody fucking left the ground. Fuck off. You want to do a goddamn thing.
Right. Cyclops did a free fall out of a goddamn plane to style on people, and he was just like,
oh, cramp. Oh, shit. Oh. They got me.
Fucking Jean Grey could have easily used her telepathy to fucking keep him from falling.
Right.
Like, oh shit.
I got a headache.
I got a headache. Right. Like, get the fuck out.
Right. Yeah. Look, there's a scene. There's a scene right after where morphs into Quicksilver.
Right.
Like,
right.
Oh, you couldn't do that like 2 seconds ago. You couldn't. Okay. All right.
Like, is this what we've become? I was like, you know. None of y'all niggas did anything, so fuck off. You know.
And then it ends with the reveal of Bastion being the big bad of this season. And this is really cool, man. Bastion is like you remember that second Transformers movie where the Transformers had humans that control into robots? That's what Bastion does. He's kind of like a mix between Master Mode and Nimrod. So that's what Trask turns into. He turns into a human sentinel, basically. Right. And at the end, when Bastion has Magneto, it's very obvious, right? Like, he's going to put nanomachine, son, inside Magneto to have him be like a sleeper agent, which is a way to make Magneto a villain again. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So,
but that's perfect timing for the return of Storm and the return of Charles. Like that's because they're gonna need both of them, right?
They're gonna need it because Magneto in this series now, he ain't nobody to fuck with, yo. Like he's this is God, man. This is good. This is really good, man.
I know this is gonna sound blasphemous, but I'm sorry. This is the best we've ever seen Magneto, cartoon or live action. I'm sorry. It is, yo. Whoever they get to play this dude in live action, if he doesn't bar niggas up like he does on this show, I'm going to be mad. Like, that's all I want. Like, he's such an asshole. He's such an asshole. And you're like, this guy's being a real dick, but he's not wrong. Like the whole time, you're just like, I mean, you're right. You had to be so mean, but like, good. He's great. He's so well written. So, yeah, more of that, please.
Yeah, man. Look, when the X-Men enter the MCU, they're going to have some big shoes to fill because of this show.
Yeah.
And I really do hope they take everything that they're learning and they're hearing from this series and translate it to the movies, right? You can't focus on one mutant over the others, right? Like because that's not where the X-Men is all about, like messy drama between them and the people they have to deal with. So yeah, man, this show, I can't wait for the 3-part finale, man. Like,
yeah, this is gonna be a hell of a 3 weeks. Like it's gonna be fucking crazy. But yeah, we'll see. It'll be dope to see Charles back and like how they handle that. It's like my guess is they're going to use Storm in a moment where they're down. They're going to do what we asked them to do in fucking Justice League. When the team is low, you bring in a fucking super character to
you bring
fucking
in the big
turn
guy.
the tide. Right, you turn the tide. That character.
Like Carol Danvers in Endgame, right? Like
exactly.
All of a sudden, like here she comes. Fucking turning the desert into glass, yo. God damn.
What was
That's
the
still
line?
just dope ass shit.
What was the line? Tell them the temperature or some shit like that. Like that.
Yeah, it's like give them the forecast.
Give them the forecast. I was like, what a dope ass line. Yo. Like it made him.
And she's got her own theme song, dude. She's got her own theme music.
Yeah, like
that music played. That music played last week when she got her powers back. The same music. So
look,
Storm is the only X-Men own theme music when she pulls up to the. It's pretty fucking dope.
Because she's black.
Good.
Yeah, and by the way, I saw a number of people saying this. Top tier work on keeping Wolverine not the main character, like you were saying, like making it a team show and not just making it the Wolverine show, because that has never been a possibility of anything that we've seen live action, even
especially
the original
live
cartoon.
action.
Especially
live action.
I mean, it might as well be Wolverine and the X-Men. Like, it was just ridiculous.
Right.
But I give them a lot of credit for kind of keeping him at bay. Because he's just a member of the team. Like, there are times where he's got his solo stories and a solo focus, and that's okay. But not every episode and not all the fucking time. I mean, even the cartoon was kind of guilty of that to some extent, too. Right? Like, they weren't as bad as the live action movies, but they had a couple of really like Wolverine centric moments like throughout seasons, just like big swaths of seasons where it's just like, is anybody else involved? Like, who cares, right? So I give them a lot of credit for actually keeping him under wraps a little bit, which makes him special then, right? Like when he fucking throws down, then you're like, all right, hell yeah, like instead of all the time in the front row.
Yeah.
Dogmen got to get their chance too.
Oh man.
Oh. All right, Terrence. I think we're ready. What did you think? Shock us with your thoughts on.
Yeah, I'm gonna maybe I enjoyed it. That's a lie. I did not.
No one did.
Look, I saw a review of this movie earlier today, and it was someone that actually enjoyed the first one. They said they didn't really have too much. They like the first one is not that great. They were like, it wasn't that bad, but I enjoyed it for what it was. They saw this movie and they were like, this movie is bad, and in this movie being as bad as it is, it retroactively makes me not like the first one.
God damn.
Like,
Yeah, I heard that too.
I've heard this a couple times from people. Like, God, Jesus Christ. Yeah, this movie's not good, guys.
Is it worse than the first one for you?
Considering it is.
Wow.
Because the first movie, you know, he gathers the Magnificent Seven or the Seven Samurai, whatever, right? One of them dies. Cyborg died in the first movie.
Good.
So this movie picks up right where the last one left off. They make it back to the planet, and they think they killed whatever the fuck his name is, General
Nicholas Holt.
Noble.
Nicholas Holt. Yeah, General Noble. And they're like, oh, they're happy, but then there's somebody. You remember the guy that they left at the farm? He's been keeping up with the people on the Dreadnought, and he finds out that he's not dead, and this is where the story kicks off. It's like, oh, they're coming back for the wheat in 5 days. Now, this is the story. They come back and they're just. The first hour is basically them farming, right? The first hour of this movie is them farming and giving you exposition dumps, right? That's all it is, literally. Cora gives her backstory. She's like the best soldier that the king, whatever that they have. What is it called? What the hell are these motherfuckers called? I don't even remember what the hell. The Empire has. Yeah, the space Nazi. She's the best soldier that they have. And she's told to do something. She's told to kill the princess. She does it, and then they blame her for everything, which is weird. Like she
they blame her for they Eric Andre meme her.
Why would you do
like,
that?
why would you do this?
Why would you, exactly? So like that's her backstory. She tells it while she's sleeping with Homeboy from the first movie. And so we're moving on from there. First of all, let me ask you a question. You remember the first movie was Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Who was the Child of Fire?
I don't know. I don't know. Because she's the Scargiver. Cora is the Scargiver in the second one. I don't know what the fuck the Child of Fire is.
No, she's not.
I don't know.
You're wrong.
She is. Maybe she's both.
She's
I don't
both
know.
of
Maybe
them.
she's the Child of Fire and the Scargiver. And you know why she called her the Scargiver? You know why take a guess why they name her the Scargiver.
Did she give someone a scar that's important? Scratch somebody? Wow. Wow.
Wow. That is...
She gave General Noble a scar. When she killed him the first time. He even says it. She's like, they were like, we can get rid of that scar in your chest. He's like, no, keep it. When we capture her, I'm going to show her the scar. I'm going to show her that she's the scar giver, whatever the fuck he said. I was like, good job, Zach. Good job, Zach. You're a great storyteller. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Excellent writing.
I heard that General Noble, like normally in movies, if you have a character that like dies and then miraculously gets, constructed back to life, like they are some sort of like twisted version of their original self.
Right, because he's supposed to be, I guess, like the Vader of this?
Yes, he's supposed to be the Darth Vader.
He just looks like a regular nigga in this movie, yo. I don't understand. He's the same white dude he was in the first one.
Yeah,
right.
He doesn't. Nothing's different. He's got a scar on his chest. He just got the scar that he gave him.
He don't even have the little thing that he uses to call his mom. Like he don't have none of that shit. Like that's
he just has a scar on his chest because he's a scar giver. Anyway, first, like I said, the first part of this movie is them harvesting wheat. There's like 3+ minutes of slow mo harvesting wheat, right?
Come on,
because that's what these people do. Now the wheat is very important to the story because. I don't know why. I don't know why it's important. They just needed to feed their fucking soldiers. They needed to feed the soldiers, right?
Okay. As I saw someone point out, and I think this is a very valid question. They have technology that They can go to space.
Can resurrect people.
They can resurrect people. They can travel through galaxies or what have you, like instantly. Yeah. But at the same time, they're like, we only have wheat. Like, that's it. They don't have anything else. They don't have a replicator. They can't make a burger. Like, this is ridiculous.
Again, he's not like Zack Snyder. I know there are a lot of Zack Snyder fans that like they enjoy his work, and I can go through all his movies and I can say I enjoy more than I don't. I believe, but he's just a horrendous writer. He's one of the worst storytellers I've ever fucking seen in my entire life. So, like, going back to the movie, the wheat is incredibly important. The Empire comes to pick it up, and they realize that Cora is there, right? Now, they have this plan, like General Titus. But wait, before we get to the plan, I'm sorry. We have to go back to the roundtable discussion about who these people are, who the 6 people are that they picked up in the first movie, which we should have found out who the f- were in the first movie. But he saved that for this one. So they're sitting at a table. General Titus comes in and is like, okay, who are all you people? He tells his backstory. His backstory is the Empire came and blew up and he was fighting them. And then he's like, hey, if I surrender, they won't kill us anymore. And they did it anyway. So he was tight about that, right? That's his reasoning for fighting them. Next person, they came to my home planet and blew shit up. I'm tight about that. Next person, they came to my home planet and blew shit up. So I'm real pissed off about that. So everybody has the exact same backstory, right? And they're all told in slow motion. I'm telling the story. Yeah, it's all slow mo. It's all slow mo. There's like 20 minutes of slow motion in this movie. No, it's not even.
I'm so glad I decided not to do it. To watch
They're like, yeah, we're really mad about that, and so he decides to train the fucking the villagers to fight. Classic. He trains them in like a day and a half.
Oh, that's all it took. Good for them.
That's all it takes. They're all like crack shots and they can use weapons and everything. It's terrible. Like, I guess visually it's fine for some people. Again, he uses muted color palettes. I don't understand his visual flair. It doesn't make any sense to me anymore. Because like if you want to just make a visual movie, nigga, take up photography, bro. Like because you use so much slow motion. Like they're all like
still images.
They might as well still images. That's what I'm saying. He says, I remember an interview a while ago. He was like, "Hey, I don't really need slow motion. I just like to use it because it adds to the." And then people were like, "Well, you use it in everything." And then finally, an interview he did maybe a couple months ago, he was like, "Slow motion's awesome." That's what he said. Those were his words. So he uses it. He just overuses it. There's a sequence. It's not even well. First of all, there's a bunch of slow motion farming. But there's a scene.
Joe, you sent us that clip. It was insane. I thought it was a joke.
Yeah, it was not a joke. But there's a scene where Djimon Hounsou is filling his canteen up with water. Now, there's a camera in the barrel of water, right? It's pointing upwards towards him. Nigga, it's in slow motion.
Yeah.
It's like, why, yo? Why? Like, why did you put this? It's just him dipping his fucking can. First of all, his hand and the canteen in water. Gross, nigga. What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing, yo?
I was like, that's very unsanitary.
Yeah, from a hygiene perspective, I don't care for this.
All day, it's gross. And he just fills it up, and it's like a 10-second scene of him just filling up a canteen of water. I was like, are you for what? So, but then the second half is the battle, right? The movie's 2 hours long, so the first half is them like farming. And then the second half is the fight scene. It's like the battle sequence where they're protecting the wheat. Now they have a plan to like put the wheat where all the houses are, so they can't destroy the wheat, or they can't like just kill all the people. They have to. I don't know. I forgot what the plan was. But they have technology. They can see through the houses. They can see where everything is. So where they're on the dreadnought, they look down and it's like, oh, they have the wheat next to the kids, and children and all that. So.
Let's just make sure we kill the kids first. Like, who the fuck cares?
So
we're like Nazis from space.
So they send a SWAT team to this barnyard where they have all the wheat, and it's like 4 of them. And so like the Asian chick with the swords, she comes and fights them. Her fight scene is terrible. Like she's supposed to be this badass, right? Yeah. She dies. Fuck it. Spoiler alert, she dies. Like one just random grunt kills her. It was really ridiculous. whatever. Like he was, I'm like,
Whoa,
okay.
remember that? Whoa, the lightsabers, bro. It's going to be awesome. Cool,
Yeah,
now she's
the
dead.
heat sabers. Yeah, she died because like she couldn't take on 3 fucking soldiers by herself. So she sucked.
Her name is Nemesis.
Yeah, something like that. Whatever.
All right, yeah.
It just continues to be just a bunch of slow motion action sequences that a lot of people say, if for nothing else, that the movie looks good. Like there are some scenes that look really good. My thing is, if you give me nothing else to go with to like care about, I don't give a fuck how good a fucking shot looks. You didn't earn it. you didn't earn me like saying, "Oh, that's cool," because like I don't care about anything else. I don't care about anyone in this movie because you didn't make me care. The story is so poor that I'm like, I don't. There's a bunch of laser fire going all over the place, and like no one's getting hit. Like there's another sequence where General Titus and Tarzan. Yeah, yes, it is. It's G.I. Joe. They're like General Titus and the dude Tarzan. Like, I don't know what his fucking name is. They're running into battle, and they're just running into people shooting lasers at them. None of them get hit. I'm like, what are you aiming at? I'm like, what are y'all niggas aiming at? This is insane. This is absolutely insane. There was one shot that I did like. There's a shot on the bridge that it's like ultra slow motion. It looked really cool. It could have been like a painting. But it was ruined by the fact that the dude with the axes, like he's attacking someone and he hits a dude in the thigh, right? And the axe bounces off this nigga's thigh. I was like, well, you just... you see an axe bounce off someone's thigh in slow-mo. So clearly it was a prop. I'm like, all right, well, that's cool. You know what, Zach? He sucks as a fucking writer, and like I'm starting to realize.
Wait,
that.
the sharp end,
No, the axe. Like he hit somebody in the thigh with the axe, and it bounced off of the thigh because it was in slow motion. You can see it incredibly clearly. Like
the way you described it, I thought it was like the blunt end of a fire axe or some shit, and it just bounced.
He's got like dual axes. I was just like, but when you watch a movie this bad, you start picking up everything wrong with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you like if you're watching something that's bad but like fun, you kind of give it a pass. You kind of give certain things a pass. I don't give anything a pass in this movie. All right, and also the technology in this movie is so technologically advanced that they use coal to power ships. That's another thing.
That makes no sense.
What?
Shoveling coal into a spaceship is wild. Like that's some Fallout level technology shit. Like it just makes no sense.
Because Cora goes into the ship, she manages to get herself onto the ship by some nonsense. And she jumps off a platform, she starts shooting people, and she lands in a pile of coal. And I was like, what the fuck is that for? But then you see niggas shoveling coal into these fucking furnaces to power a ship that can go through wormholes in space. Because
go through vagina-shaped wormholes in space.
Yes, that's right.
So,
but he does.
The problem.
All right, Zach, we got it.
He doesn't explain any of this stuff. None of it makes any sense because he doesn't he's got lore that he has, but the movie doesn't explain anything. So like people are like, yeah, the lore is really cool, but what is it? I don't know what it is. I don't, you haven't given me anything to care about. Like now, if you make a third one, which I pray to God they do not, because the end of the movie, they set it up for a third one. Ugh. They win, and the chick that she shot, Titus is like, yeah, you didn't kill her. Did you think it would be that easy to kill her? I'm like, bitch, I don't know who the fuck this broad is.
Is this the one with the horns? Is this the one with the horns? Where is that? I don't know. Did she show up in this movie?
Oh yeah, she knitted them a bunch of capes or some shit like that in like 2 days, and then she does
the woman with the horns? I thought she was supposed to be a villain.
What woman with the horns? Who are you talking about?
There was a released image of a woman walking down a ramp. Is the same exact shit he did when he showed Deathstroke, and it was like here's an image of fucking Mortigan or some other dumbass name in Rebel Moon, and just like whoa, and everyone was going all crazy. I'll see if I can find it. It's like
I have no idea.
It was like gray or whatever.
I'll see if I can find it.
That person doesn't exist in this movie. Whoever they're talking about, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
Then James the robot. I forgot about
yes,
that nigga.
Thank
right.
you. I was
James
about to bring that up.
Yeah, he was in the movie. He spent an hour and 45 minutes standing on a mountain watching these niggas just do shit.
Did he?
And then he shows up. He did. He had like a minute fight sequence.
Cool. That's a minute.
And the thing about this motherfucker is he's invulnerable to gunfire because he fucking lands
in front. Get down in front.
He does the superhero pose, right? He comes just out of nowhere. I guess he jumped off the mountain. He does the superhero pose, and then they just start shooting at him, and like all of the bullets, he just absorbs all of them. I'm like, okay, well, help us, nigga, please. Like you can't be hurt apparently by bullets, and he takes out a whole bunch of people. He takes out a tank, and then he leaves
after a bunch of people are already dead.
Yeah, after a bunch of people died. I'm like,
I have a question, and this is going to sound like a very silly question to me.
I don't think it is because this movie's very silly. So there's not a question that could be any sillier.
They use bullets. They don't have like laser guns.
No, it's lasers. Like the lasers were like bouncing. Like
okay,
he was getting
it's not
out of lasers.
Okay.
Nah, they look like the bolt guns from Warhammer 40K. Which the gun, like the design of the guns and the ships and all that thing look dope, but like that doesn't matter. It's like nothing means anything. But yeah,
so I just sent you. I sent you that image of the lady with the horns. Is she in the movie?
I don't know who the fuck that is. She's not in the movie. Like I have no.
This was 2 years ago. This was June 7th, 2022. He released this video of this character walking down, and he goes, "Forging ahead. Here's a recent makeup test I shot on my iPhone for Rebel Moon," and his character's not even in it. People were going wild
because she's in the R-rated real version.
She's the one that. Yeah, she's the one that like you got to really watch it. So she shows up for 14 seconds, and then you'll see. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, she's not in any. She's not in any of the. She wasn't in the first one or this one. So I don't know who the fuck that bitch is, but she doesn't exist. So, and again, that whole thing with the director's cut and the Snyder with these two PG-13 versions and the R-rated versions is a bunch of bullshit. Netflix did not like hamstring you to make two PG-13 versions. No, they didn't. They did not. Because this is your baby. This is all you, dog. This is all you. You edited this, and you're editing whatever the fuck versions are coming out later this year.
I'm sorry,
and it's not enough seats.
By the way, I'm sorry. I said Nicholas Hoult was the villain. I apologize. All white people look alike to me. That's Ed Skrein. Sorry.
Ed Skrein, yeah, whatever. Who does it even matter? Who cares? Yeah, this whole thing with the director's cut and no, dude. Like this is just to get more views. This is social media. This is just to get as many fucking eyes on your product as possible at this point. Because people are going to watch the director's cut of these two versions of whatever the fuck these 3 hours director's cut. Because it's a streaming service. Again, like I said, it doesn't matter how many people are in the house watching. They're not paying ticket prices. He said 200 million people watched the first one and the second one, so like it would make $1 billion in movie theaters. No. Again, I believe this nigga has the mind of a 15-year-old.
Would you like to guess the Rotten Tomatoes score out of 87 reviews from critics?
The last time I saw it, it was like 14%.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did. I heard like 7.
But that was like a couple of days ago, so I don't know. What is it at now?
Well, it went up to 15%.
What can you look up?
It's worse than the first one.
What's the score?
The consensus is less a course correction than a compounding of everything that tangled up its predecessor. The Scargiver is an uninvolving space opera full of flat notes. That is the AI consensus of all of the critics. Here's a positive one. The second hour kicks in as Snyder gets down to doing what he does best. The glacial pacing of the first 60 minutes gives way to an action-packed second half that's full of exciting set pieces and cool combat in spite of its obvious PG-13 edit. That is the one positive review on this blurb on this list of critics.
Is that, and you don't have to say the name, but is that just from like Joe's website, or is that from a legitimate place?
It's from a website called Keith and the Movies.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, Keith.
You
and
didn't,
the
have to say,
Again,
you didn't have to say the name, but I'm just saying. I'm not surprised.
That second half,
Oh.
yeah, sure, there's a lot of action in the second half, but it doesn't mean anything.
People really underestimate what writing does.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
good
Like
writing does.
I can enjoy just nonsense, right? I can enjoy nonsense, but at the same, but a lot of times I have fun with that shit. Like this, like I said, it's not fun. It's just, all right, there's a bunch of explosions happening for no fucking reason. Aside from we really need this wheat. And mind you, by the time they fucking destroy these villagers, take out this fucking army, the dude is like, you know what? Fuck the wheat. Nigga, we spent 3 hours and 45 minutes fucking talking about we really need this wheat. So now just blow it up. Cool. All right. That makes sense.
I saw this. I actually heard this reviewer say this. I watched their movie reviews. Zack Snyder is the golden corral of directors. The food might not taste very good, but like a buffet, you get everything.
I saw somebody, I don't remember who the fuck I saw it. He said Zack Snyder makes movies for dudes who punch holes in walls.
Yeah. That's 100%.
Can you imagine Zack Snyder? Can you imagine Zack Snyder doing a Fight Club?
Oh
Holy shit!
What even is subtext?
Nigga, that shit would be 7 hours long with all the slow mo in it,
and make no sense. It make no sense.
No sense. It would just be brooding and just. Let's just quickly go through his fucking filmography because I'm making the point that I don't think he's the thing that he's written and directed. 300, great movie. I'd give him credit for that.
Yep,
but
I enjoyed it.
He kind of changed the landscape, that whole speed ramping, the slow mo speed ramping. It still looks great to this day.
And it looked good for that movie because he was using it in action sequences, which made sense.
Yeah, he used it for impact. Now he's just using it just to fucking use it, and it doesn't make any sense.
Drinking water.
Nigga,
fucking dumb.
It's dumb. Literally was what are you doing, bro? That doesn't. Okay, Sucker Punch, terrible movie.
Yes.
Again, it was just a bunch of chicks in short skirts fighting robots and knots in steampunk knots and shit. He didn't write Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, but that's average. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Army of the Dead, haven't seen it. Some people like it.
Jesus Christ!
No, it sucks. It's not good.
Okay.
Dave.
Some people say they enjoy it, but yeah. So he wrote and directed that, and then Rebel Moon 1 and 2. Now with those movies, the ones that he's written and directed,
none of them are good.
Think about it for a second. Think about this for a second. They don't have a lot of substance to them. He just does a lot of things to make them look good. And like I said, I think he has the creative mind of a 15-year-old child.
No, I think it's true. Look, when
they just give him a lot of money. He just gets a lot of money to just do whatever he fucking wants on film, and it just doesn't make sense.
I mean, here's the thing. When we saw the first trailer for Rebel Moon, the kid on fire or whatever, when we saw that, a thing that we talked about was that it just looked like a mashup of all of his other ideas from his other movies, all thrown together. The ships looked the same, largely as the ships looked in Man of Steel, right? The same sort of shots as they were in Justice League. It looked like it was the same locations. It almost just looks like he's got these 10 or 11 ideas, and every movie, whatever the story is, those 10 ideas have to be in it. And that's why all of his stuff feels stale. And look, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm really not. I really think he needs to take a break and really step away from Hollywood for a bit. Figure out that writing is not his thing. Team up with some good writers. And I'm serious. Team up with some good writers and go make something awesome. But look what happened when he teamed up with James Gunn, who wrote
and people say that's his best movie.
It is. It fucking is.
That's his first movie. That's his directorial debut, by the way. movie wise. He did he did fucking like music videos and shit like that prior to that in the 90s.
But he teamed up with
I
writer.
really like Man of Steel. I'm not a person that hates all of Zack Snyder's shit. I love Man of Steel. It's a great movie. It's like, is it the best Superman movie? No, because it's not.
But it's a pretty goddamn
really
fun movie.
But it's a good movie. I like that movie a lot. 300, really like it. I like Watchmen. People hate that movie, but I don't have.
Watchmen.
I never read the comic book to go off of. So, you know,
the only thing that's really different about that movie is the ending. Like it really is.
Ending. And quite frankly,
I think the ending is. It said the ending's better in the movie.
The ending is better in the movie.
I know that's blasphemous to say, but I think if you had done the ending from the comic book, people would have been like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And it's weird. It works for the comic because it's in a comic book world, but everything feels incredibly realistic in that world. In the movie, it wouldn't have fit. Like it would have been bizarre. It would have been super bizarre. Look, they pulled it off in the TV show, right? They did the squid ending in the TV show, but they just kind of like. They show the aftermath of it, right? So you weren't building up to that story, like so.
It'll rain squids in the movie in the TV show, right? And you're like, what the fuck? That's weird,
right?
And then they kind of give the backstory. They didn't show it; they just gave like the backstory.
Well, no, there was that episode where they show the aftermath of the squid landing, like in New York. Like they showed it, right?
I don't remember.
That was it. That was like it was the opening of an episode. But again, that's showing like. This happened. It doesn't build up this normal, neo-noir detective story type of thing and then go weird. Like I remember when I read the original comic, I was like, okay, that was weird, but like it's comics, so you go, oh, all right, it is what it is. But in a movie, especially with a lot of people who saw it who were not familiar with the original comic book, it would have been fucking weird. And his ending did make sense. Like I didn't have a problem with it. It looked good. It had the feel of the comic books. The portrayals were very good. I thought everyone was very good in that movie. So yeah, again, his biggest issue isn't his directing. His biggest issue is writing. He's not good at it. He just isn't.
He's terrible at it. He's fucking awful at it. He's like this movie. Good God. And this is all him. This is all him. He directed it, he wrote it, he produced it. He Tyler Perry this movie. These two movies.
Yeah.
This is all him.
And it feels like he also did this in a weekend.
This is what he did.
Yeah.
I think he wrote that shit in like an hour. Like for real, because this is terrible. So yeah, he Tyler Perry this, and this is what we got. And if this is what you're able to do as everything, nah, bro, you just need to stick to fucking nigga. You just need to stick to cinematography at this point. Because this shit is terrible. Like, it's fucking terrible, man. I can't imagine him directing 4 more of these. If Netflix gives him money for this shit, they just love throwing money in the trash. Yeah, you're going to get the views.
More on that later.
And again, we were like $160 million. Did you manage to watch Monkey Man?
I haven't.
You didn't. Yeah.
Monkey
Man cost $10 million. Better movie. Way better.
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt it at all.
Way better movie, better action sequences, better story. And that's from a fucking first-time director who he wrote and produced and directed that movie. So,
yeah, now imagine that guy now having notes. Now imagine Dev Patel having notes from people like Jordan Peele for his next film, right? Where it's like, okay, this is what happened. Because that movie was finished before Peele bought it, right? So
yeah, it was supposed to go to Netflix. That's what it was supposed to be, a Netflix movie. And Jordan Peele was like, "Nah, this is dope." So we gave it a fucking theatrical run, and it's a very good movie.
Yep. But again, some people can write, and some people can direct, and some people have the luxury of being able to do both. It's a rarity. It's a rarity, and like a lot of directors treat it like, I can write a movie, like. But you can't though. Like there are certain people who can. There's certain people who can. What's the dude who directed Logan?
I forgot. I know what you're talking about.
Pardon me. Who the fuck directed
James Mangold?
James Mangold. James Mangold is a prime example of a person I don't want to see a James Mangold movie if he doesn't write it. Because when he writes shit, no, I'm serious. James Mangold directed the Wolverine. He didn't write it. And people were like, yeah, this wasn't great. You know why? Because it wasn't his original ideas. And then he came back and did Logan, and he wrote it, and look how that turned out. That dude, when he writes and directs shit, they're all good. He's exactly the opposite.
He also wrote and directed Indiana Jones and the Dial of
Okay, maybe not. Maybe.
Yeah, man.
I haven't
I
seen
did
that.
not appreciate that movie.
I have not seen that.
No thanks.
Spoiler
like
alert,
the
there's
Temple.
time travel in that movie, Jay. There's
Shut
time
up.
travel.
No, it isn't. Nope. Agree to disagree. I refuse to believe that that's true.
Oh, man.
But most of
the
his
moral of
movies,
the story.
the vast majority of his movies that he writes and directs are quite good. So
Moral of the story: Zack Snyder is a horrendous fucking writer. Like, again, I feel like I wrote something like this when I was 15 years old back in high school.
yeah.
And that was me being a child. And then, like, slow-mo, man. Like, people say, he doesn't even do the speed ramping shit. He just does slow-mo now. Like, 300 had a ton of speed ramping in it.
It worked.
You
He just
know,
fucking threw that out the trash. Into the trash.
the original,
But
the
stuff.
original idea for the slow motion was so to kind of highlight like action scenes like a splash page in a comic book. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
like that's why you do all that egregious slow motion in big blockbuster movies. Not doing this. Not that.
Yo, they just a sequel. But I think that happens, though.
Yo, that's so ridiculous, man. That's
It's
so ridiculous.
incredibly ridiculous.
Yeah, he's got a problem. Like he's got a I think he may have ADHD, like for real. And he just his
You
brain.
ever seen an interview with him? He does.
He does. I feel because he talks
He's
like
all over the place,
David,
dude.
David Meltzer, Micah, the wrestling. dude
Oh
that-
yeah, Dave Meltzer, yeah.
He talks just like David Meltzer. I think that motherfucker has ADHD too, because like he can never complete a full sentence.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's in Will Ospreay. I mean, it's 7 and a quarter star.
It's fucking weird. I was like, you
All
can
right,
never
all
finish
right,
a
calm
full sentence. I'm like, bro, relax, take a drink of water, and finish your sentence. He can't. It's impossible.
He does have ADHD because there's a very famous picture of his office, and it's just paper.
Oh,
strewn.
it just looks like a fucking. It looks like a private detective's office. Like they got paper.
We should not diagnose people remotely. That being said, you're probably
Yeah.
right. As a person
Yeah,
who
it's-
is diagnosed with ADHD, these are my people. I know them very well. Like, I've
Rebel
seen
Moon
it.
Part 2 is terrible. It's a terrible
Yeah.
fucking movie, and like don't give him any views. It just
No. Look, I
If
told you
you-
after I watched the first one and I fell asleep 17 fucking times and it was still on, I was like, I'm out. This is boring to me. Like the thing is, I at least should be entertained from an action sequence because I know even when the shit's dumb, people are going to get punched and it's going to look cool. Nope, it wasn't, and that was enough for me.
Yeah, him using slow motion. You use slow motion so much, you make it doesn't have any impact. Like it's just worthless. It's like nothing. It's dumb. Fucking stupid ass movie.
I
It's
mean,
like-
I
it's
have
like
the
letting
battle
a-
scene on from 300. Like the speed ramping and the slow mo, it's just used to a perfect effect in that movie.
Yeah, the speed ramping, the slow mo, like the zooming in and out of the action frame. It's so fucking cool. Like he's gotten completely away from that, and just now it's just I'm gonna use it just because I can.
Yeah.
It's like he's writing a script but has to reach a word count. So it's like
Yeah.
and he was pouring the water and the water was flowing and flowing and flowing and flowing and flowing.
And 5,000 words, nailed it, right? Like that's what it feels like. Yeah, it feels like a book report where you just use a lot. Like, okay. It's weird.
It's,
So,
it's-
yeah. I mean,
It's
this
so
scene,
bad.
this battle scene is dope as fuck, and it's funny because as much as they're speed ramping and slowing down, and it's like there's some very good choreography and shit like that, and the zooming in and out. I mean, it's very cool. It ends on the coolest fucking note. The guy runs at him, and he just fucking Leonidas just stops and hits him with the shield and doesn't move, and it's like, and then it goes back to normal speed. I was like, yeah, it's kind of dope. Like, what happened? Like, what happened, dude? Like, it's just very fucking weird. Very weird.
Yeah, that was 14 years ago.
Yeah,
That's what happened. He's been directing for 20 years at this point, and like much like I just feel like he's getting worse. That's the problem.
no, I don't think that's much of an opinion. I think that's objectively a fact.
You just proved Quentin Tarantino right.
Yeah,
like, I gotta
sometimes
get
you
out.
just gotta tap the fuck out, bro. You just gotta tap out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's sad to watch his career take a dive. Like, dude, you could have it back. Just stop writing. For the love of God, just stop writing. Just direct. Or hook up with some great writers who have good
Yeah,
stories.
get somebody that writes really good, and then you can just be the cinematographer, dog. Don't be the choreographer because your choreography fucking sucks. like your fight choreography is terrible. I don't know who did the choreography for fucking 300. I don't think it was him.
I doubt it.
But he used the camera techniques to make it really fucking cool. But everything else, leave it alone, bro. Because this is not your ministry. Because it's terrible, dog. It's fucking terrible.
This is not your ministry is a fucking hilarious show title. Thank you.
Anyway,
all right, let's move on from there. Let's take a quick break and then do topics. All right, Micah, take it away.
Brian Helgeland was one of the writers working on a Game of Thrones spinoff that George R.R. Martin signed off on, but one that HBO did not pick up. In a new interview, Helgeland discusses why the tentatively titled 10,000 Ships series didn't happen despite his saying a script came out great. Quote, I think they felt the period of my show was too far removed from the pillars of the original. That's why it hasn't been picked up yet, but nothing is ever dead. He also went on to say that his script, quote, was based on Queen Nymeria and this little blurb about her that was in a Westeros encyclopedia. Essentially, it was the story of Moses, but swapping him out for Nymeria. Her country gets ruined, and all of her people are forced to live on the water, which is why the show is called 10,000 Ships. So yeah, there is a Game of Thrones. There's a Game of Thrones spinoff.
This doesn't sound very good to me.
That is, it's on the water. I don't really give a shit about like boats and shit.
No, you just can't swim. That's why you.
Well, that's why. That's exactly why. Actually, if we were meant to swim, we would have gills. We'd be able to breathe underwater.
Okay, that's a terrible argument, but okay.
Like considering 75% of the fucking world is water.
And this nigga drives a car. Shut up. Get out of here.
I mean, although the premium cable network didn't order the script to series, Helgeland doesn't lose hope, saying, my work is still there if HBO wants to pick it up. I enjoyed my time developing it, and you never know. So, wow, this really is a slow news day. This is
there's nothing.
He's like, I mean, it's still there.
Yeah.
There was a story I could have put it on the docket. It was like, are they making a sequel to Big Hero 6? And then you read the article, it's like, we'd like to make the sequel, but I don't know. Thanks for calling. Like, that's it. It's like, okay, well, that was really useless. There's nothing happening right now. All right, next up.
Severance actor Tramell Tillman joins Mission Impossible, the next Mission Impossible. This dude with this mustache looks like he was getting all the sexual transmitted diseases in the 70s. He looks like a 70s playboy.
He's from Baltimore.
Oh, well, then he definitely got all those sexually transmitted diseases. The actor who broke out in the popular Apple TV series Severance, which for some fucking reason my wife won't watch, has landed a role in the 8th Mission Impossible. It is. I think so. I think it is. She was like, well, when's the next one come? When's the next season coming out? Then I'll watch it. You know, like I did The Bear. I've been telling her The Bear was awesome. You should watch it. And then when the second season was getting ready to air and literally everyone else was like, hey, this is really good. And she's like, oh, okay, well then maybe I'll watch it. You know what? The Bear is actually really good. No shit. No shit. Actually really good. No shit. Tillman joins fellow franchise newcomer Katie O'Brien, Nick Offerman, and Hannah Waddingham is going to be in the next Mission Impossible movie.
Is it going to be good? Is it going to be good?
I was about to ask that question.
I haven't finished the last one. I haven't finished it.
You still haven't finished it?
Nigga, it's awful, yo. It's awful. I can't.
You're not.
I want to. Like, I can't believe how uninspired I am watching a Mission Impossible movie. I'm like, what is this fight on the bridge?
I can't believe how uninspired that movie is.
It's awful.
It's not that great, man. It's not that great. I mean, I'm happy for this guy. He's really good in Severance, and yeah, look, I'm not bullshit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna watch Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 2, The Scargiver.
But they haven't started shooting it yet.
Okay.
They didn't start shooting
I see why you. I didn't really pay attention to the name. Yeah, Hannah Waddingham. Yeah, okay, all right. I'm gonna see it. God damn it.
I mean, Hannah Waddingham and Haley Atwell are in a movie together, guys. Like that's my 45-year-old man threesome right there.
Look, exactly zero issues with either one of them. They're both fine actresses.
In Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's tall, bro. She's tall.
All right, there you go.
And ain't nothing wrong with that.
Something wrong.
In Dead Reckoning Part 1, A Child of Fire, the last Mission Impossible film to hit theaters, Cruise returned to the Impossible Mission Force. He returned.
That sounds so insane. That sounds so fucking stupid.
He returned as Agent Ethan Hunt, a role originated in the 1996 film based on the popular television series. The seventh film saw the return of the Impossible Mission Force director Kittredge, who became the director of the CIA for a series now well into its third decade, continuing next summer with Dead Reckoning Part 2. Mission Impossible has always remained remarkably consistent, except for the last movie.
I can't believe how bad it was, yo. I'm so mad about that movie. I'm gonna get through it. Like, you know.
So wait, this article.
You gotta take your medicine.
This article says that Mission Impossible 8 is no longer titled Dead Reckoning Part 2. So we're just gonna have Dead Reckoning Part 1.
No, they dropped the part
1 there.
No, they
dropped the part 1.
Yeah,
dropped the part 1.
Yeah, it's just Dead Reckoning now. Yeah, that came out a couple months ago.
Well, I mean, like you kind of should have dropped it before you released it.
Should have been called Dead Weight. This shit sucks.
Yeah, I was very disappointed with that movie. It's incredibly, like you said, uninspired, and you know, even the stunts weren't that great, man. And some of those other stunts in those other movies, you know, they still hold up, but not this one. I can't believe I'm incredibly unimpressed by Tom Cruise riding a motorbike off of a cliff, but like,
right. Meh.
All right.
All right.
I mean, the last one, I mean, what, 2 previous to that, he hung onto an airplane as it took off. That was impressive. You jumped off on a motorbike. Big deal. Who hasn't done it?
Right. I just,
Which
all
one
right,
was
bro.
he underwater for like 5 minutes?
That was
That's more
6?
impressive.
Right. He
That was
held it.
underwater
Right. He
bike.
Is that
held
6
his,
or 5?
right. Like he
That was
held
awesome.
his, what was that? It was one of them Jeremy Renner ones.
No, it wasn't. Was it the Jeremy Renner one?
I
was
think
on the Burj
Jeremy
Khalifa.
Renner was in 2 of them. Jeremy Renner was in 2 of them.
Which
No.
6 was
Jeremy
what?
Renner. Jeremy Renner was in the Burj Khalifa one. He was
Yeah,
in
that's
the Burj Khalifa.
No, I know.
The
was
one
he in
after
another
that one. That was 5. That was 5.
I thought he was one and done. Are you sure? I thought he was just in the
He was
Burj
in
Khalifa
4,
one.
he was
and
in
that
4
it.
and 5, right?
Yeah, he was in 4 and 5 because
That's
So
how
5
much
was
we
the one where
cared
he was
about
underwater.
Jeremy Renner being in these movies. By the way, we're arguing
Right,
like,
'cause I
was he
think
even
he
in
was-
on one of these movies? I don't
I
know.
think he was being positioned to like
Yeah, he was.
take over.
Yeah, and then they saw the
And-
Burj Khalifa one. And they were like, "Nah, we're good." Tom Cruise was like, "Not on my watch. Fuck that." I didn't think he was in
So-
2 of them. Yeah, Mission Impossible:
Yeah.
Dead Reckoning gets Paramount Plus release
Rogue
date,
Nation.
and then they drop the part 1 from the title. That's January 18th of this year.
So Rogue Nation was one he was in. He did the underwater sequence, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was like
I
a 5
really
minute
like
thing.
Rogue Nation, man.
Yeah.
Rogue Nation and Fallout are really, really good.
yes.
They have the same trajectory as the Fast and Furious franchise. 5 and 6 are really good.
That was part 8. So what's 8 going to be? What's the name of it? Dead Reckoning what? I mean,
They don't know
Mission
yet.
Impossible what?
And 8 was bad again, like the fate of the Furious.
Yeah,
That was
you can't take the team apart. I get what they were trying to do, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Oh yeah, that was when he was a bad guy, right?
Yeah.
Because what's her name had some dirt.
He's
on
got
her.
my son. Yeah. And then he got upset. And now he's going to do another one. And hopefully his
Well,
family
this might be the
didn't
last
die
one,
in the-
right? Like
needs
it's got to
to
be
be.
the last one, right?
Yeah, come on. They are almost dead in that plane crash. Somehow that works.
Oh, it's got to be the last
come on.
one with Ethan Hunt, right? It's got to be the last one with Ethan Hunt. Like this
Wait a minute,
franchise is
Mission
not going to
Impossible
go
ones?
away. Yeah,
no,
the Mission Impossible.
I think after Dead Reckoning Part 2 or whatever it is, I think that's it. I got to imagine this is it.
So they better go with a fucking bang.
Or you got
Yeah.
No, you know what?
Terrible.
No.
Terrible.
No. Look, I'm a Tom Cruise apologist. And if I know Tom Cruise, and I do, there's no way he goes out on 9. No, he's going to do a 10th one. You got to go out on 10.
I mean, the franchise ain't dying, but like, come on, man. Like, you gotta goes out on 9. I mean, it's all right, man. All right.
Cruise is like 65 years old, bro. Like
He should just be the fucking director. Like, the end shouldn't be him dying. He should just be like, you know what? Give it to a young person. I'm very tired. Like, just
Right. I can't imagine him doing 2 more movies after this one that's about to come out next year.
No, is the next one 8 or I thought that was 9?
The next one is 8.
8. Yeah.
Oh fuck! Is he gonna do 2 more? Just end it on 8. Just end it on 8. All right, never mind.
You got to end on 8, man. And the franchise can keep going, right? Because this is, it's a franchise. But like, nah, man. Like you said, have him be the director or something, and
Of the impossible missions.
of the Impossible Mission Force. The first thing to do as a director is to change the fucking name.
Yeah, we're not going with this. This sounds stupid to say out loud.
The Impossible Mission Force. Shut up. All right. Look, all that bullshit I'm talking, I'm gonna be there in the theater to go see it. So
I saw that first one in high school back in '96. Don't ask me why. It was one of those days.
boy,
when
has
teaching
this
us to, like,
franchise
shit.
this
I
franchise
worked
has
at a
really
movie
changed,
theater.
hasn't it?
I worked at a movie theater the year that came out. I was 16, which is insane. Yeah,
Remember
it
all
went
that-
from a cool
remember all
spy
that-
shit.
All that cloak and dagger shit from the first movie to
Fuck that.
fucking a John Woo movie in the second one to a bad J.J. Abrams movie in the third one before it finally decided we just want to be stunts the movie.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah,
man.
Look, I think that
I
second
really like
movie,
that first one a lot, man.
The first one's a good movie.
It's really good.
It's a good. Look, the second one is dumb as shit. Like, it's real dumb. But there's part of me that kind of loves how dumb it is. Like, they were just like, Tom Cruise is a very handsome young man. And they just kept showing him, like, with his flowing hair.
And hair flowing in the wind.
It shit made no sense.
Like, relax.
Flowing on the side of a cliff as he's rock climbing and shit. Like, all right, bro.
They were like, did you know he's very fit? Like, yes, we remember they had Limp Bizkit do the fucking music. Like, oh my God, what are we doing right now? They were like, this franchise is awesome. Everything about it's awesome. It was dumb, but I liked it. She was practically gagging for it. A quote from an actor.
That guy was going to be Wolverine, guys.
He probably would have done. Was it Dugray Kelly or something?
Yeah, he probably would have done fine.
Yeah, he probably would have been all right.
I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have stuck around for 25 years like old huge Ackman.
Yeah, probably.
But
I bet he wishes his career had gone that way instead of being in the bad Mission Impossible movie. Well, second bad, because I'm not so sure it's not. The second one is not better than this last one.
God damn!
I've seen the second one multiple times.
Look, the third one is worse. The third one is worse.
The third one you think is worse?
Yes, I think the third one is worse.
I thought the third one was just way too serious. Right?
It is. It's way. I agree with
it's
that.
Like
it's way too
really
serious.
Dark.
Yeah.
What's his name? Was just like an evil son of a. What's his name? I can't remember his name.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
He was a good villain.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
He was the best. He was the best part.
Damn,
he was the best part of that movie. He was the best part of it.
By far. All right. Next up, 28 years later, cast Jodie Comer, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Ray Fiennes to join. That's very cool. Like those are three very good actors. The actors are, of course, going to be working under Danny Boyle and Alex Garland, who is going to pen the scripts, who just did Civil War, which I unfortunately have not been able to see the demise of the United States from my home abroad, which I really want to see. Like just watching people be like, yeah, keep going.
I listened to an interview with him about that movie. He was on Pod Save America, actually, Alex Garland.
Oh, Alex Garland?
Yeah, it's interesting. He's a white man, so he's a centrist.
Boo.
Because I still want to see the movie, though. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Anyway.
absolutely. I absolutely want to see it. Yeah. So look, I think 28. I know Terrence, you didn't finish it, but I think 28 Days Later is a very, very good horror movie. I think it's really cool. I'm interested to see if Cillian Murphy or Cillian Murphy, if he comes back. It'll be weird if he didn't, but I mean, it's not like this is a shitty cast of actors. So, all right, we'll see. I have to watch 28. Was it 28 months later?
Weeks
or weeks later? Thank you. I have to rewatch that. I haven't seen that. That was with Jeremy Renner. As I recall, it was okay. I didn't like it as much as the first one, but I enjoyed it. Last but certainly not least in stories, Hollywood forfeits up to $30 billion every year because of racial inequality or inequity. Beginning in 2021, the consulting firm McKinsey has published a series of reports exploring the entertainment industry's representation and inclusion of historically excluded people. Along the way, the analysts totaled up the potential financial revenue that Hollywood could stand to gain if it adopted more culturally inclusive business solutions. $10 billion per year for closing the black inequity gap, an eye-popping $12 to $18 billion for properly valuing Latino professionals and consumers, and in the latest report released today, conducted in collaboration with Goldhouse, $2 billion to $4.4 billion for more effectively tapping the Asian and Pacific Islander market. So when people say go woke or go broke, it's quite literally the opposite. It's quite literally the opposite. Yeah. You will make more money by appealing to, shocking news, everyone. Can you imagine that people would like to see themselves on screen? Yeah, turns out. I mean, the fact that even just black people alone is 10 billion, and Latin folks alone are at least 12 billion, and they're still not doing it is just a testament how stupid racism is. Like, you better get this money. Like, who cares? Just put brown faces on TV. Let's get money. But yeah, so it said with movies like Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, and Parasite, and television series like Beef and Squid Game sweeping awards and sweeping awards, and artists like Dwayne Johnson, Taika Waititi, and Mindy Kaling on the celebrity A-list, it's true that Asians and Pacific Islanders are enjoying unprecedented levels of prominence and prestige in current pop culture. So, like, why would you not do more of this? By the way, Squid Game is coming out later this year, second season.
Second season?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good. Are they going to pay that guy any more money? Or
Nah. they pay him like they pay the WNBA players. Like, it's on a sliding scale. Going the other way.
Like, Jesus, man.
Yeah, the guy had one of the biggest shows on fucking Netflix ever. Like, how about $7? You good with that? Like more. I
mean, look, they didn't know that Squid Game was going to hit the zeitgeist like that. So I guess I'll give him a pass.
Nah, kick that guy extra little check.
But now, like, you've really got to break that guy off, man.
Yeah.
Pause.
No Diddy. Is that what they say now?
I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah,
and I don't. I don't. And I don't want to
do.
know what it means.
Yeah. Take 10 seconds to think about it.
Nope, I don't want to.
It's pretty self-explanatory. Hey, man.
I know. I don't want to.
But I'm talking about this story. I'm just going,
okay.
Look.
Micah refused. I don't want to learn.
Look, put people on screen and people will watch it. As long as it's good. It don't even have to be good.
Sometimes it doesn't even have to be good. Yeah,
like, we just want to fucking see ourselves. God damn.
Yep.
Like,
and not in sort of in ways that are showing people as just like idiotic stereotypes and stuff like that. But showing,
not stereotypical. Just
right.
Regular
like
shit.
The funny thing is, there's a very easy solution to this. You make the movies and the television shows that are like very, black centric, right? Like, and not just slave movies. I mean, like, just things about like the black experience or whatever that may be, right? But you can make them positive. It's not all downtrodden shit. You can do stories about black families and stuff, just like they do, stories of Asian and Pacific Island families and like, being immigrants to the country, or, stories in China or, wherever, right? You do those stories, and you know what the other ones you do? Find scripts that are just about, like white people doing shit and replace the characters. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, something that's not racially specific. Oh, a husband and wife. I mean, how many of those fucking movies have we done on black cinema? That's just like husband and wife are attacked by a crazy person outside their house. And they're just like, just put black people in this. Yeah.
Right. That's what they
just make more of that stupid shit.
You can tell it ain't made for black people because the names are always ridiculous.
Yeah, you gotta change the names, right? This is
Tom and Martha.
Yeah, like what the seems like an odd group of black people's names, right? So, but like, just you make plenty of movies that do not require the characters to be any specific color. When you make colorblind films, just put a couple of Asian folks in there and just a couple of black folks in there and Latin folks, and close the gap and make $30 billion. Like, Beef has nothing to do with them really, like the core of that story has nothing to do with them being Asian. Like, it just doesn't. It's just two psychopaths and, getting into their bullshit because they begin to hate each other. Now, you can put something about their culture and stuff like that in it once you cast them, but at its core, that's not what the show is. And look at the response it got. So it's just even something. I mean, obviously, Squid Game is a Korean-based thing, but even Squid Game could have easily been anywhere. It could have been anywhere. It would just happen to be an original sort of kids game in Korea, which is what it's based on. But yeah, it could be anywhere. I mean, even a lot of the games were games we all know, right? Like, so it's There's nothing particularly culturally specific about it. So yeah, there you go. All right, let's jump into trailers and get out of here. Blink Twice. This is directed by Zoe Kravitz. I guess this is her directorial debut. I thought this looked pretty interesting. It's like, what is it? The Onion, but somewhere
Glass
between
Onion?
that and Get Out, or Glass Onion, but somewhere between that and like Get Out. So yeah, I think it looks pretty interesting for a directorial debut.
I didn't know it was director. I didn't pay that much attention. I saw the chick from I Want to Dance with Somebody in it. She played Whitney Houston in that movie.
Oh, is that her?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
That's her. It's something I'd probably just catch if it were on. Is it a movie in the theaters, or is this going to be on something?
I think this is a
Amazon
movie in the
movie?
theaters.
Oh, I'm not going to the theater.
No, it says Amazon MGM Studio, so it'll probably be in theaters, but also on Amazon relatively quick. I'd watch that on Amazon.
Yeah, I'd watch this on a Friday night when the kids are in the bed,
Right,
and
your wife refuses to
watch
Severance.
Yeah, and yeah, because I'm intrigued enough to give it a watch, but not intrigued enough to tell her about it. Like if she finds out about it, then like, oh, okay, yeah. Look what you discovered.
I'm only on a show every single week that we talk about trailers. I'm glad you found it.
Yeah, but yeah, it looks all right. Looks pretty good.
All right. Trap. This is the new M. Night movie. That really gives away the whole twist right in the trailer. I'm intrigued. I got to tell you, I'm actually kind of intrigued.
I don't think it's giving away the twist.
I think there has to be a double twist.
There's going to be something else. If there is a twist, this is not it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm interested. Like I saw this trailer a couple of days ago, and I'm like, this looks interesting. I'm interested. I'm not going to go to the theater to see it, but I'll catch it when it starts streaming. Yeah.
When the trailer first came on, and dude went up to the black guy, and the black guy was like, I could lose my job for this, but you know what? I'm going to tell you about this entrapment setup that the government is doing at this public venue. And I know about this as a vendor in the stadium. I was like, yo, this is fucking dumb, yo. Like, this is really fucking stupid. Like, they'll just make a movie about anything, right? And I was getting ready to turn it off. And then all of a sudden, like, we find out that the trap is set for our main character. And it's like, oh, okay. All right. Let's check this out then.
Look, I got to tell you, just from a technology standpoint, there's something in this trailer that really bothers me. Like, he goes into the bathroom and then he opens up his phone and he looks at like his camera. Like he's got like a remote camera in his house or somewhere where he's holding somebody that he's clearly going to murder. I feel like those things are not unmonitored by other, like the company that you go through. I don't think you want to have my murder basement on live stream, like through Vivint or fucking ADT. Like, oh, I bet no one will look at this. I don't know, man. It feels risky to me. It feels risky, but that's just me. I've never put anyone in my basement like that.
So, like, God damn it. The more I'm thinking about it, the less I kind of want to see it. I feel like you remember the movie Devil, where people were trapped in an elevator.
Yeah.
And one person was the devil, and it was the person that obviously would be the devil in this situation. An old white woman.
It's the kid.
I feel like this is I feel like this is a cool concept that will be executed poorly.
It's the kid. It's the kid. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah.
It's his daughter, that he's covering. He's working with his daughter, but she's the one who does the murders.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
God damn it.
So I don't know if I want to watch this anymore.
I wish he didn't give it away.
Yeah,
Like,
I really wish he didn't give it away.
I mean, frankly, I wish he hadn't gone up to the guy and like got all of that like exposition. It should have just been, why are these police surrounding this venue? It's very weird. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and you don't know, right?
And you don't know that it's an entrapment. Like, that actually would have been interesting. Yeah,
this guy could be like, it could just be shots of Josh Hartnett just like looking around and from his point of view, like trying to figure out who the killer is, right? And people were doing like weird shit at this, Taylor Swift concert or whatever. But yeah, he just kind of half gave it away, man. But you're right. It's the daughter. It's the
girl. That's the girl.
Like, because it's like ADT home security or whatever. Like, don't she live there, nigga? Like, what the fuck? Like,
right. Maybe it's a different place. Maybe
it's a divorced dad or whatever, right? But like, it's her, yo. It's her.
Nah, it is. It's 100% her, or it's her grandmother or some other weird shit. All right, let's talk about the probably the best sci-fi movie that's going to be out this year. Starring Jennifer Atlas Shrugged Lopez. This movie, Atlas, it has all the trappings of a classic Netflix sci-fi movie. Somehow they get good actors. Somehow they have like decent special effects. But for some reason, they are obsessed with star fucking, and they will put terrible people in the leads of these movies with piss poor writing, and it will not be good. This is just my guess.
I don't disagree. I got nothing. I'm just looking. It looks cool.
The special effects don't look bad at all.
Like, that's all that matters to a lot of people. You got to understand. Yep. Like, that's all that matters. It looks cool. It look hard, yo. So yeah, that's it.
So I'm not a huge fan of Jennifer Lopez outside of her dancing. I think that she is a better actor than she is a singer by like a country mile. But like, I don't know music. But, and I'm not mad that she's in this. I'm mad that like, I'm mad that everybody else who's in this.
Yeah, no,
like,
I agree.
This seems below Sterling K. Brown.
Seems?
I mean, that guy was just nominated for an Oscar, yo.
Right, yo, what is he doing in this?
Like, and look, I get it, right? I get it. You gotta work, right? You gotta work, and he's probably gonna make chicken salad out of chicken shit. But I mean, look, he was in that Predator movie that was really fucking bad. But
he was the best part of that movie. He was hilarious.
He was the best part of it. So, yeah, I'm not watching this, man. I'm not watching this at all.
No, I'm gonna watch this. This feels like Head of Stone for me. Like, I need to see this. Like, this shit looks terrible. I'll watch this before I watch Rebel Moon.
That's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a Head of Stone because it's Heart of Stone. But you watch this,
I know what the title is. I was well aware what the title is.
She's a data analyst in this movie.
Yeah, she's like Jack Ryan. She's the Jack Ryan of the future. By the way, I don't know. Does it tell what year this movie takes place? I mean, it's obviously in the future where they have mechs and it's like Titanfall and shit. It's a bit weird that in the future they have all of this technology and they have these Titans and all, but she's still leery about AI. It's like the year 2099. And she's like, I don't know about getting in a machine run chat GPT. Like, I imagine your entire lives are surrounded by artificial intelligence. She's like, not on my watch, Smith the robot. Like, okay, cool. And so
why are they giving these robots like regular ass names? The nigga's name in Rebel Moon was James. was like,
James.
Right.
Yeah, that was the robot's name, Jimmy.
Jimmy the robot. Right.
Yeah.
Good times.
Old Jimmy the robot. It's like
Dynamite.
giving a dog. It's like giving a dog a human name, right? Like,
yeah, like
James.
Steve.
yeah, it's my dog Steve. What? No.
I always
No.
said I always said if I ever got a cat, which that would not happen, I would name him Frank for that reason because it's fucking weird. Like, this is Frank the cat. Like, what's he do? Nothing. He's an asshole.
The cat, he is an asshole.
Yeah. Next up, the Big Cigar. I can't tell. Is this a series or just a movie? Oh,
It's a series.
God damn it.
God damn it.
So this is the Big Cigar is about a story. It's based on a true story when Huey P. Newton, one of the founders of the Black Panthers, tried to flee the country to Cuba, and he got a film director or a film producer to help him by basically faking a movie and then just using him as one of the actors to sneak him out of the country for a while. Look, this is starring Andre Holland, who I think is a phenomenal, underrated black actor. However, I think this looks ridiculous, and I'm going to watch it because I think that he will pull out a hell of a performance because he always does. I think he's just one of those actors. He's just kind of incapable of putting out bad performances. But this really feels like, hey, you guys know the Black Panthers? White people help too. And that bothers me. That's what it feels like to me. Also, Huey P. Newton, like, for all of the good he did, he was fucking crazy. And I'd like someone to actually explore that for once. And I'm wondering if they will actually deal with that. Like, he was straight up crazy. Anyway, go ahead. What do you guys think?
I thought it was a movie.
Yeah, I thought it was a movie.
And now I'm upset.
No, it looked interesting enough, but I'll catch it. I'll check it out. Like, I do like Andre Holland as an actor.
He's the only black person in like mad scenes in this trailer.
Yeah. Aside from the chick, she was in Hunters, right? She's the black chick in
so.
Hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is her. That show was also very good. What was it, 2 seasons? 2 or 3 seasons? Y'all never finished it, right?
Just 2. Yeah, I didn't.
Never started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I told you about the end. Yeah.
Yes.
It was fine.
Yeah.
I wish it was a movie, but
Yeah,
you know.
That would be
it
nice.
was a movie.
All right. Last but certainly not least, Deadpool and Wolverine, another trailer for them. What are your thoughts? I'll go last.
I mean, MCU's back, right? MCU's back.
That's what they'll say.
Yeah, that's what they all say. After they see every movie, they say it's gone, and they see every movie, and now it's back. Look, I'm glad that the tone seems to be kept. First movie was a love story that famously came out on Valentine's Day. The second movie was about family, and this movie looks to be about forging friendships. And it seems to have all of the, Deadpool isms. Like, Deadpool is a really annoying character, and I'm not like one of those huge Deadpool people. I like Deadpool, but he's super fucking annoying.
Yep.
But I also like Ryan Reynolds because I think he's really charming, and the mixture of annoying and charming in his Deadpool really works for me. Hugh Jackman is in it in his 24th year as Wolverine. I like these movies, but I'm not like gagging for it. You know what I mean?
that phrase, okay, bothers me a little bit. I'll see it. I wasn't like hyped for it. I'm sure I missed a trillion fucking Easter eggs that I don't know anything about because I'm not a comic book guy.
Do you mean like
Looks fine.
the Liefeld the Liefeld story or store behind them that says just feet? Rob,
I don't know what that means.
because he couldn't draw feet. Rob
He
Liefeld
couldn't draw feet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See what I mean? I don't understand any of this shit.
Google Rob Liefeld feet, and
This nigga was
it's
incapable of it. Yo.
it's very difficult to draw bare feet, just like it's very difficult to draw bare hands, which is why like everybody has gloves and boots on and shit. But this nigga couldn't draw, booted feet. Like, like he just kind of gave up.
Yeah, he didn't give a fuck.
His feet for his characters look like soles that you insert in shoes. That's what his feet look like.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, look, man. This trailer doesn't show much of anything besides actually Wolverine's face. Micah, you and I talked about this. They don't show the mask. The mask is definitely going to be there. I saw another image today from like a bust from the movie. I mean, it's what all the reporting is. I mean, it's as comic accurate as fuck. It actually looks very good. I hope they don't show the mask until the movie, but at the same time, in a third and final trailer, if you really want to get people to the theater in big numbers, you show that mask in the trailer, people are going to go fucking crazy. They're just going to go crazy. But I feel like you don't need to, because it's already has Wolverine in it. Like, people are going to go see it. So
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if, to your point of them not showing it, because Marvel's been doing this with their trailers. I wouldn't be surprised if what we are seeing was shot specifically for the trailer, and we get shots like the two of them fucking walking around, looking like they're getting ready. Like that one scene where he's brandishing the claws and shit, and the claw is slowly coming out in the foreground. I wouldn't be surprised if the actual shot, he has the mask on in that scene, right? Or the scene where the two of them are like walking around the foot store, walking in front of the feet store.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's got that mask, because that scene looks like they about to, let's fucking go or whatever. So,
yeah, I mean, Reynolds has done this sort of thing, like played the game of like throw people completely off the scent of what's happening and stuff like that. And look, I'm here for that. I would love if all of those like these big scenes are all just total bullshit, and everything in the movie looks very different than that. So
yeah, like when Wolverine is saying "Let's fucking go," and it's a close up of his face, right? Like that's a mask scene, right? Like it has to be.
Yeah.
That's a money shot, right? Like that's a money shot that you don't want to ruin in the trailer. So, yeah, to your point, he's probably right, because it's just weird that he just doesn't have it on at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally been 24 years. And we've never seen this dude put the goddamn mask on. We had one scene as like a throwaway, deleted scene where he like opens a case and it's like, here's the suit, and he never fucking puts it on. Yeah, it's high time, man. Like in the MCU, they're just like, you want us to do a fake Iron Man mask? No, it's the one from the fucking comics. Here it is, right? So all of that is very cool. The other thing I will say about this was that Professor X's sister, as maybe one of the villains or the villain of this movie, which is kind of interesting. There's a number of very low-key centric things that happen in this trailer. Like you see the cloud monster at like a minute and 51 seconds. You see a giant man helmet. which I believe is that's from the actual Old Man Logan story. Like, it'll be interesting to see all of the kind of general weirdness that goes on in this. At that last scene, you actually get to see them jump into one of the portals. The talk is that whatever the scene is, the after credit scene, people are saying, like, with inside knowledge, how they know, I don't know, or it's just speculative. They're saying it is fucking awesome. Like, and my guess is that's like the full move into the MCU, how they do it. So should be cool. I'm excited.
Right.
I'm excited to see what they do. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, and I've done it for the previous 2 Deadpool movies. Once I'm in it, like, I'm in it. You know what I mean? Like, I am present and in the moment, and I am. This is firing on all cylinders. And then once I'm gone, like, I haven't rewatched those movies, right? I just did a rewatch of The Winter Soldier because I think that movie is stellar.
Yeah, it is.
And I like those those 2 Deadpool movies, but, like, I haven't gone back to watch them again.
Yeah,
like they don't warrant a rewatch. But I remember liking them when I was there, so I have a feeling that that's what's going to happen here, right? Like, my excitement will be like, oh shit, I'm jazzed up. Plus, it's all about Wolverine, who is overrated, and Deadpool, who is overrated and dumb, right? Like, so but I get it. And I'm not trying to, like, shit on people's good time, man. Like, I'm going to have a good time watching this too.
Oh, of
course.
Of course.
But yeah, if anything, the trailer doesn't show too much, and I like it like that.
Yeah, I look. There's going to be so many cameos and actors who played other versions of these characters and variants and all this other shit. Keep it to yourself. Look, the worst thing that this movie could do is spoil all of that shit and have the internet's fucking obnoxious nerd brigade ruin all of it on YouTube videos weeks before it comes out. And everyone goes, I wasn't impressed because I watched it all on YouTube before, and then pretend that the movie's bad. Which they
like, there are cameos in the shot. Like, blink if you miss it cameos, and people are, pointing them out. And, like, I get it. I get it. It's what we do.
Why do people want to know everything nowadays?
Because they're impatient
before a movie comes out. Like, I don't like knowing everything is going to happen in a fucking movie. Like,
well, and I don't understand.
Doesn't make sense.
Like, I understand, like, one of, like, know, like, maybe a little bit of things, but what drives me crazy is they go and they read and they find out everything, and then they go to the movie.
That's what I mean.
That wasn't impressive.
Do that?
Why do you ruin it for yourself?
Because they all want to do what you do, Jay. They all want to say, "Dude, I told you."
Yeah. Look, if you just throw enough out there, eventually, just the law of averages, you'll be right. That's what
yeah,
just law of averages, baby. I learned that in school. Yeah, or just, I don't know, intelligently make guesses instead of just going, Silver Surfer's going to show up in the 3rd act. Stop just saying random shit. And that's what they do. For some reason, their channels have like 500,000 views every time because people are dumb.
Because people like that shit.
Yeah.
Like, because everybody else does it. And it's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, there you go. I'm glad we're not seeing a lot. And I would prefer to keep it that way. Look, it's April 24th, man. It's only in July, right? Like, we don't have that long to wait. Just keep it under wraps. They don't need to show any more trailers as far as I'm concerned. Like, just let this be the end of it. All right, that's it for us. Any other parting thoughts?
Good fucking night.
All right. Best of luck with your fucking 5 a.m. wake-up call, dork. Damn.
God damn.
He's an asshole.